Okay, Stella's outside, so I'm sure she'll be back at the door anytime to come back in. This was like the first time of quietness this morning with her. Sometimes she just is like, she cries to wake up, and then she cries, she wants me to move out of the bed. We have a king size bed. She wants me to move out of the bed so she can go and take my spot and, to turn. Like every time through the night, if she needs to move or something, she's always got to cry like, oh, this is so horrible. I have to move. And then her body's so big, when she's trying to move around in the bed, she thinks she needs a lot more space than she does. She's so funny, but it's very routine for her to wake up. She just cries and cries. She wants me to move. So then once I move, she takes my spot, and then she'll sometimes go back to sleep for hours. But once she gets up, it's just pacing around like, oh my God, this is so horrible. Another day here, another day in the rain, another day of being trapped in the house. And she just walks around crying and pacing. She's so funny. But anyways, she went outside for a minute. We'll see. I don't think she'll be out there long. But this morning I started watching this show. It was a movie about ghosts. I love mysteries. I love suspense. I love ghost stories and stuff. I love that stuff. And it said real hauntings, And I kind of thought it was going to be like a bunch of different stories, but it wasn't. It was just this one story, and it was hard for me to get through. I'll tell you. There was one person in it that I recognized from a lot of different stuff. I think she was in the Orange is the New Black. That tall, skinny guard lady. I think it was her. And the other people I didn't recognize. They could be in stuff, I'm not going to go look at their IMDb thing or whatever. But the thing that gets me in these movies is, when I went to make that one with my brother, is that like while I'm watching them, I can't quit with hearing them in the background of okay, no, we want you to walk in the room again. No, walk a little faster. Okay, we're going to do that again. We're going to do that again. We're going to do that again, over and over and over. And when the people are saying some of the stuff, like when you watch the people, they have to say it a bunch of different ways, trying to say it in a certain way. It's so funny when you come up with a different, like a phrase or something, you can say it in different voices, you can say it in different expressions, and it can mean something so different in how it's presented. That's the fascinating thing with language. But anyways, so, that was going all the time while I was watching it, hearing in the background what's happening drives me crazy. But anyways, in the story, it had this something that I thought was very interesting, that how they presented it was so kind of imagine in this life, because all things are happening at once. Like we think like there's a past and there's a present and a future, we think, because it's how we're experiencing it, like in a linear way, it's got to be moving, right? So that's how we think that everything is, but everything is out there happening at once, right? And so what is weird is that crossing paths with another aspect of self. So in this one, this woman and guy went to this house, and they were supposed to, it was confusing. They were supposed to be going to see friends. I thought they were going to buy this house from strangers, but then it was friends, and they were getting all the furniture. I don't really understand that first part, why they ended up at this house. But when they got there, all the people had disappeared from the house. And so they were trying to find out, they're supposed to spend the weekend with these people. And so they're trying to figure it out. Well, so it starts having these flashbacks with the one woman. She is, she lived there in the past, and she had a whole life there in this house. And now she's come in this other incarnation, and it was like affecting, and this house had like these portals that you could go into other times and space. So the people weren't just disappearing, they were like going through these portals into these other realities. It was, I thought it was really interesting. It kind of flopped at the end. A lot of movies do. They just kind of sizzle. But it was, you know, it had some good stuff that was interesting. I liked that idea of, you know, coming in contact with, you know, like I like the ones where the people go in the house and the ghosts are there, and they're there, but the people can't see them. You know, and these people could be living their own lives. I like some of the ones where they will even show, like, they're showing the whole movie from this perspective of, like in the others, the perspective of one person or whatever. They're showing this perspective from this perspective, but this perspective is the ghosts. They're the ghosts, and they don't realize it. I think those ones are really interesting. But it is all about this energy. I see it as kind of like all things are available. Like if you, I've seen this thing where it shows like all these different news people, and they're all saying the same thing, and there's a little bot, and it keeps dividing, and there's more and more, and they're all separate. It's not the same person. It's all these different people, but they're all saying the exact same thing. And it just keeps multiplying. And that is kind of how I see the universe, kind of like, and it keeps multiplying and stuff. And so you can shift into these, just like how you can change a channel. Told ya. Hold on. Okay. Come on. Hurry up. Don't get in my chair. No. Don't. I'm sitting here. Okay, she's gonna probably knock this over now. Okay, so anyways, you know, like all things are there. It's kind of where you're tuned into. And so when you're born, you're kind of propelled into this reality. You know, you have a whole process as a soul coming into this reality. And, but there's multiple realities happening at once. It's where your focus is. And this is something I think, it seems like the people just don't get this. And this is what I totally believe, is that you've already decided what your life, what you've come here, you know, before you were ever born. You went in and you decided. You knew who your parents were going to be. You knew what your experience was going to be, all of it. And you chose it. You went into it. You know, the veil comes over you. You don't remember. And you think it's much harder. But the thing is that how many people, they think, well, if I just would have went this way, then everything could have been different. If I just would have done this, my life would have been totally different. But that's not the case, because no matter what path you choose, you're still going to end up at the same place. So all the different paths that, you know, like all the different times when we reach these like pinnacle moments of a crossroads in our life, like, oh, should I get this job or should I get that job? Should I move here? Should I move there? Should I do this? Should I do that? You know, and we're like, oh, what should we do? What should we do? They're basically all going to be the same. We can look, you know, in something we don't, okay, still, stop, please. Okay, hold on.